Hey, everybody. The Wild Man of Talk Radio here, Kiler Davenport, 11:34 a.m. on the Pacific clock, Sunday, 7/12/2020, July, of course, yes. We are here on StreamYard, I think. We have so many platforms, I forget which one we're on. I wanted to come on and let you all know to drop by the show tonight. Mary will put the link in the comments section for the show tonight, and we'll have John LaCrone over there, Rusty Bryan, and we'll have Billy White. I think will be on tonight if he's not on his other show. I wanted to talk a little bit about this crazy stuff that's going on with the CDC and the World Health Organization. I've got a video here for you that is just one of the dumbest broads that I've ever seen in my entire life. Talking about COVID-19, literally just stupid. And, you know, it proves every theory that we've had about COVID-19 being not only fake, but the numbers have been escalated to the point of no return when there is no COVID-19. Writing death certificates out, putting COVID-19 on them, whether the person crashed in an automobile accident or jumped off a cliff or died on hospice, they're putting COVID-19 on the death certificate. So the numbers are complete crap. You can't believe anything you see or hear. And this lady is directly from the source that I'm going to be playing, and my producer is going to put this on in a second. But this, you better listen to this. You better listen to this because this proves a lot of different things. And we'll go ahead and go with the video now. Let you hear it.
Earlier this week, the state reported the death of a teenager in Cook County. Are you familiar with this case? If so, is this the state's first teenage death? And can you tell us if the teenager in question had underlying conditions?
Okay, we're going to get a definition now of how you can determine whether or not someone died with COVID. Very simple.
I don't have that information at my disposal at this time. I know we have had people of all age groups die. I just want to be clear in terms of the definition of people die.
Okay, here comes the definition of death by COVID.
Of COVID. So the case definition is very simplistic. It means at the time of death, it was a COVID positive diagnosis.
That means no matter how you die, as long as you were positive for COVID when you died, you are a COVID death. Even if you got in a car wreck or you fell off a cliff, for whatever reason that you died, as long as you had COVID, it's counted as a COVID death. Listen.
So that means that if you were in hospice and had already been given, a few weeks to live, and then you also were found to have COVID, that would be counted as a COVID death.
There it was. Okay. She's even going to make it more simple for us.
Means that if even if you died of a clear alternate cause, but you had COVID at the same time, it's still listed as a COVID death.
So technically, even if you died of an alternate cause, if you had COVID when you died, it's called a COVID death. You wonder why the numbers are messed up.
Well, there you go. Right out of the horse's mouth. I mean, you can't get any more plain than that. They picked an airhead, a real airhead, to make that decision. I'm going to play that video again in just a second for some of our new folks that have just come on, but you can't make it any clearer than that. I mean, it is amazingly stupid, and this is going to be interesting for my roundtable, Billy White and the others, to hear. It's going to pretty much just quash the fact that this COVID-19 conspiracy we've been talking about is a conspiracy. In fact, it is real, and it is a conspiracy, all right, but it is also a false flag, and it is being controlled by the dark state. So after my producer gets the tag to the show tonight, I want to play this again. I want Billy White to hear it in full before he comes on tonight or before he goes on one of his other shows tonight. I want him to hear this. This is so important. I'm going to play it again on radio tonight, even though I told John LaCrone he could host tonight. I may change that in midstream by taking over the news hour, or I may take the news hour on the last hour of the show. But I definitely want Billy to hear this if he never hears another thing in his life. This is just ridiculous. I mean, they put this lady out there and she just fumbled the ball completely. So we're going to play this again. Billy, listen carefully. This is really stupid, and I mean stupid. So listen very carefully. This proves all that we've been saying all along.
Earlier this week, the state reported the death of a teenager in Cook County. Are you familiar with this case? If so, is this the state's first teenage death? And can you tell us if the teenager in question had underlying conditions?
Okay, we're going to get a definition now of how you can determine whether or not someone died with COVID. Very simple.
I don't have that information at my disposal at this time. I know we have had people of all age groups die. I just want to be clear in terms of the definition of people dying.
Okay, here comes the definition of death by COVID.
Of COVID. So the case definition is very simplistic. It means at the time of death, it was a COVID positive diagnosis.
That means no matter how you die, as long as you were positive for COVID when you died, you are a COVID death. Even if you got in a car wreck or you fell off a cliff, for whatever reason that you died, as long as you had COVID, it's counted as a COVID death. Listen.
So that means that if you were in hospice and had already been given, a few weeks to live, and then you also were found to have COVID, that would be counted as a COVID death.
There it was. Okay. She's even going to make it more simple for us.
Means that if technically, even if you died of a clear alternate cause, but you had COVID at the same time, it's still listed as a COVID death.
So technically, even if you died of an alternate cause, if you had COVID when you died, it's called a COVID death. You wonder why the numbers are messed up.
I have no words. I literally have no words. This is one of the most outrageous, stupid things I've ever heard come out of anyone's mouth in a long time, but at least it's truth. And she is probably going to get fired for that statement at some point in time. They're probably going to cut her head off and throw it through a window, or maybe throw her through a 50-story building window and kill her for saying this, because it goes along with every single thing that I've been saying on the air, that COVID is bullshit. COVID is a word on a piece of paper, 2 words on a piece of paper, COVID-19 2, whatever, and that it's just bullshit. Follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. If you jumped off a cliff and died, you've got COVID. If you fell off a bridge, jumped off a bridge, bungee jumping, and the bungee cord broke, you've got COVID. If you're on hospice and you died, you've got COVID. So, it's just everybody and anybody who has a sore throat or a little bit of pneumonia and dies, they have COVID. It was a COVID death. It was a COVID death. It was a COVID death. Upper respiratory disease. They die, they have positive for COVID. It's a COVID death. It's a COVID death. Everybody's testing positive for COVID. So what is COVID doing there? Why is it even there? Why don't they just say this person died jumping off a cliff? They died of a massive head injury. Why don't they say this person died of an upper respiratory disease or a lower respiratory disease or anterior-posterior disease or a neurological disease or a cerebrovascular accident instead of COVID? Put COVID on everything. It's all about money, federal money, state money. Coming down to these hospitals for this COVID bullshit, this COVID pandemic disaster, dog and pony show. So there you have it, Billy White. There you have it in plain English from the source of the WHO, the World Health Organization, and the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control. And so Barr was right there verifying every single thing. Boy, I bet he regrets letting her on air. I bet he regrets letting her up to the microphone. But I'll tell you right now, the 70,000 people are out in force. I talked to Dallas, Texas this morning, and they're out in force, invading people's homes and privacy. And they're invading shopping centers, they're invading neighborhoods, communities, and cities, and they're everywhere. And we're also going to have this national medical COVID-19 ID card that we're going to have to carry around that has our fingerprint on it, our picture with a code that tells all about our medical background, our criminal history, our credit history, and probably everything else known to mankind about us. And that's coming out very soon, along with the RIFD chip, which is already being pushed in some states. I told you all, and I've told you all, you're going to go to your local Walmart one day and there's going to be a tracking team there, and they're going to definitely be sticking you with some needles and trying to sell you a bill of bullshit. Virginia's provided the nation with this template for the mandatory vaccine democracy sacrifice from medical tyranny. ID card with your name on it, your expiration date, your barcode, and your fingerprint. Virginia has now provided the nation with a blueprint for how to mandate COVID vaccine, forced vaccine, or any vaccine for that matter, even if the public is 100% against it, doesn't matter. Hand over the decision to unelected officials and authorities and let them make the decision, even if it is not supported by the electorate for the sake of the greater good. These unelected medical authorities exist in pretty much every community across the states, and they're members of the what? The Board of Health have all the control, along with FEMA. The Board of Health have all the control. These Board of Health medical authorities have been granted almost unlimited power to dictate, the word dictate, medical intervention against the will of the public and even against the will of all elected officials. These tyrannical medical authorities, along with their cronies in politics in Virginia, Governor Ralph Northam himself is a medical doctor, appointed the members of the Board of Health, continue to this false narrative that they know what is best for the community. And the opposition to vaccines come from uninformed parents. They're pissed off at uninformed parents, completely ignoring the fact that many of these parents are themselves medical doctors, scientists, attorneys, and other professionals in the community. And these medical tyrants even acknowledge the fact that these parents represent children damaged or killed by vaccines. That response is similar to what Virginia Legislature Don Adams, a PhD nurse practitioner, stated publicly. They're coming for your children. They're coming for you. They're coming for your house guest. They're coming for your grandma and your grandpa. I'm telling you, these forced vaccinations are coming, and it's going to be bad on everybody. Get ready. Stop being like some of the idiots we have on our roundtable and saying that everything's going to be all right. All we need to do is go in and just shake hands and have a powwow, and we need to gather a bunch of people together and go in and make arrest of all the criminals and blah 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 blah. Bullshit, and more bullshit. And we're not even going to have people on the show like that anymore, although we might, just for kicks, just for shits and giggles. But, it's not going to happen, folks. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. We're not going to arrest anybody. We're not going to do anything. Antifa is running the show. Black Lives Matter is running the show. The Black Lives Matter and the Black Panthers are running the show. They're getting special treatment. They're rolling out the red carpet for these people. And it's becoming, it's becoming a crime to be white. To be Caucasian is something to be ashamed of now. You know what I mean? We need to be ashamed for being white people. That's what it's coming down to. This socialist, bureaucratic, bullshit, capitalist, pig, bureaucracy, technocracy, fascist government. It's unbelievable. It's totalitarian. It's dictatorial. And this is what it's come down to. This is where we are right now. And people are begging for slaughter. You're right, and people need to free themselves. But to do that, you need to have balls. You need to grow a set of balls. You need to grow um, some hair on your head. I need some hair on my head. But you need to grow a set of balls, and you need to get tough, and you need to be able to say, no, I refuse. I do not consent. I do not consent. My children do not consent. We do not consent. Leave the property now. You are trespassing on our property. Leave or face the consequences. Do you understand? Do you have a warrant? Do you have a search warrant? If so, what are you going to search? Where are you going to search? You have to learn all these laws and all these rules and all these game. It's a game. You have to learn the rules of the game. Okay, in order to play the game, you've got to learn the rules of the game. You've got to know your rights. You've got to know your rights, and yes, you do have rights. You still have rights, even though it's starting to seem like we don't have any rights. You really do have rights. So get ready. The tracking and tracing teams are coming. They're invading America. The National ID Medical COVID-19 card is coming with your fingerprint, your picture, your code on there, your barcode, with all of your information on it for the police, for all law enforcement agencies around to be able to check you at these checkpoints, to be able to check you if you're at a store shopping or a shopping mall, bowling alley, whatever, playing golf, whatever. So it's coming. And the chip is coming, and the quantum tattoo is coming, and the flat tattoo is coming. And if Elon Musk gets his way, you will be injected in the back of the occipital lobe, and you will be a cyborg within the next 5 years. So, take that and shove it, think about it, smoke it up, and we're going to be on the show tonight. The tag for the show is right here, and I really appreciate you all being here and listening to this, because this was a damn good, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Just say it out loud. So I think this has been a good video, powerful video. You need to get ready, folks. You need to get ready, because they are coming. I promise you, they are coming. And this whole plan of the New World Order is working out perfectly. We, the people, have lost the game. We have lost the game. The game is over. The game is over, Billy White. It's over. Not a defeatist, a realist. I'm not a defeatist. I'm a realist. We can talk about existential powers. We can talk about esoteric wisdom. We can talk about occult secret knowledge. We can talk about wisdom all day long. We can talk about the metaphysical. We can talk about tuning up your chakras. We can talk about acupuncture. We can talk about medication and meditation. We can talk about all of these different things. And we'll do that tonight. But John LaCrone is hosting, and I'm going to let him just go with it. And I'm going to break in on the last hour with this news. So I'll see you guys on air. Billy, you better be there. I love you, brother. And Rusty, love you. Sandra Evelaw and Tim out there in Australia. You guys take care. We'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.